in terms of all the various batteries that are out in the market, which one of those would you say are high voltage and AC batteries? And I know you have an open structure where you can work with half a dozen or maybe up to a dozen different battery brands. And what kinds of batteries are those? Are always DC batteries, low voltage, I assume. But
Yeah.
like, what is a Tesla Powerwall, and what is Simplify? What is Fortress? Can you tell us a little bit about like how that world looks and which
Yeah,
ones of those are compatible with AP systems?
that's a good question. Um, so I will say that let's start with um yeah, that was definitely a lot you had asked, but
Yeah.
let's start with
Or we
the
can leave this
let's start with
question to the latter part of the conversation when we're going to talk about how you connect batteries to the system, but your call.
we can talk about it now. I don't mind.
Yeah, let's do
Um
it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll talk about the first camp
Hmm.
where or well first camp where where you have AC coupled batteries, where you have the inverter and the battery. And when I mean inverter, I mean the battery inverter combined in the same setup. So like you had mentioned, Tesla Powerwall is one example of of an AC battery.
Yep.
Enphase, their IQ batteries are the same.
Yeah.
Franklin, WH, there's also their batteries are also AC coupled.
Yeah.
And uh, um, the nice thing about those AC coupled solutions is with AC coupling, it's a lot more flexible in terms of what inverters that you can use. I think with the exception of Enphase because they try to lock you into their ecosystem.
Yeah.
But systems like Tesla or Franklin, they are generally solar inverter agnostic, so you can use other inverters, including our microinverters, with
Hmm.
their systems because it's all AC coupled, and as long as they talk in AC, then you'll be able to charge the batteries off of AC. Of course, there's some nuances
Yeah.
there, but for the most part, it can be charged with our micros, but it would not work with our ELS 5K because we work with DC batteries
Yeah.
to charge those batteries. So now let's take a look in the other camp where we have hybrid inverters paired with DC batteries. The first thing you had touched upon was yes, there is a difference between low voltage batteries and high voltage batteries. The interesting thing is most companies actually do a mix of most companies do both options. They have both options, and what they usually do is that they either put them in series, so they add the voltages together
Yeah.
to get you the higher voltage, or you put them in parallel, and that gives you more current, but at the same voltage. Once again, as I had mentioned before, there's pros and cons, but it's important to look at the data sheet for these types of things. So in terms of what batteries are out there in the market, what's really interesting and quite exciting is that we see many different types of installation methods of batteries. There are ones that are like server rack ones where you put into a rack and you connect them together. There are ones that you can mount onto a wall that you bring in connectors. Uh, there are also ones where they're stackable, and those are really interesting because they try to make it easier to install. But yeah, there's many different really interesting and cool ideas on how people do mounting of their batteries. And so it's interesting seeing what those options are out there and seeing how it's done now and it'll be interesting to see how it'll go in the future.
Got it.
Um,
And what are the names of some of these um, DC batteries that you guys are compatible with?
yeah, so the ones that it's an ever growing list, and we have a compatibility list on the website. I
Hmm.
apologize in advance for the ones that I don't remember on the top of my head.
Yeah.
But the ones that we do work with are we work with we're compatible with HomeGrid, we're compatible with Pites, let's see, Fortress, Golden Cell, um, and there's a couple others that we're continuing to work on doing compatibilities on. Yeah, I apologize in advance
Yeah.
for the ones that I had missed.
Okay.
But the other thing to Soluna usually
Mm-hmm.
those are other ones that are we use quite popular. Pylon is another
Yeah.
one. Um, yeah, and then those are ones that we work with. We also provide our own battery as well. It's
Oh,
something that we work with other companies that we also offer. But if you prefer, it's also okay to work with those batteries as well.
got it. So you keep an open architecture, but also provide your own branded AP storage, I guess is the name of the product, right? AP
Yeah,
systems branded battery.
the way we work with other batteries is first thing is we generally only work with batteries that have UL 9540A testing. So it's the cell testing that they do.
Yeah.
The voltage range needs to be low voltage, so we typically say 40 to 60 volts, which is generally the industry standard for low voltage batteries. We probably work with LFP batteries.
Mm-hmm.
And and the way we also need to communicate with the batteries in order to tell its control tell us what how much to control, how much power to accept and receive, and that is done either through RS-45 or CAN. Most popular, I believe, most popular protocol right now is CAN, and that's in general is what our preference as well.
Got it.
Yeah, in general, when we work with other battery manufacturers, what we do is we talk to them, sign NDAs, of course, get a copy of their CAN protocol, write the firmware so that our inverter can talk to their batteries, and then we do some testing to make sure that everything looks okay from a functionality perspective, and then we say that our system is compatible.
Got it.